Israeli police raided a Jerusalem mosque today, arresting and removing more than 350 people who had barricaded themselves inside. The move coming after they say dozens of masked individuals had smuggled in fireworks, clubs, and stones, then blocked doorways, ultimately damaging and vandalizing the holy site. That's video from the time. The raid led to clashes with worshipers, triggering an exchange of cross-border strikes in Gaza. And this all comes amid Ramadan, a month of fasting and prayers for Muslims, and coincides this year with the Jewish holiday of Passover, which begins today at sundown. On Balance host Leland Vittert joins us here in the newsroom for a little bit more discussion on this. Leland, so back in May of 2021, there was an 11-day war between Israel and Hamas after an Israeli raid on this very same compound. Things have calmed down so far today, but of course, there's always this real risk of tensions escalating quickly.
Yeah, you're always one roll of the dice away from a war in the Middle East. That's just the way life is. It was that way when I was there for 4 years. It was that way for 20 years before that, or 40 years before that, and will be continuing on. Keep in mind, Al-Aqsa Mosque is also what the Jews call the Temple Mount. And the Palestinians have a habit of turning it into a battlefield because of just this, that the Israelis can't tolerate having people who want to do them harm with the high ground overlooking the most sacred place in Israel and in the Jewish faith, which is the Western Wall of the Temple Mount. So there's agreements for how this is dealt with. The Palestinians violated them. The Israelis went in. And then you've got Gaza, which the Hamas is always looking for a way to try to pressure the Israelis. And that's what you have.
And that's what we have here. So Netanyahu facing calls for a harsh, or at least a harsher crackdown after these recent Palestinian attacks. But there's always this delicate balancing act that goes on, right?
Well, of course. And, you know, Israel does not necessarily have a foreign policy. They have domestic politics. And Benjamin Netanyahu is on the ropes, to say the least.
Right.
Having a fight outside and being the protector of the Jewish state is something that's always been good for Netanyahu internally. So there's that. And at the same time, there has been a lot of recent attacks by Palestinians against Israeli Jews inside of Israel. Normally, we used to see it in the West Bank and in some of the settlement areas. There have been attacks inside of Israel. So there's reasons for Benjamin Netanyahu and whoever the Israeli prime minister is to feel as though they have to prevent a further outbreak of terrorist attacks and emboldening the Palestinians by a lack of reaction.
All right, so speaking of these Palestinian attacks, there are new armed groups that are always emerging. There's one now called the Lion's Den. It's a network of young Palestinians upset with how their leaders are responding to this.
Right. The dirty little secret, if you ask Palestinians on the street who they hate more, their own leadership of the Palestinians or the Israelis, most of them will all tell you the Palestinian leadership. They're beyond corrupt. They treat their own people terribly, and they use the plight of the Palestinians, which is real, for the further enrichment of the Palestinian hierarchy, rather than to actually help people who need help. So, sure, there's a lot of Palestinians who are very angry and very fed up. The only way, though, that Palestinian militant groups are kept in check is by the Palestinian Authority. So, in a way, the United States and Israel has to make a deal with the devil, which is the Palestinian Authority. How long Mahmoud Abbas lasts? I mean, when I was in the Middle East almost 10 years ago, we were talking about how Abbas was on his last breath, and he's still there.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.